Welcome to Awesome Video Game Memories, where we talk about awesome memories about video games. I'm Ryan, and the game we're going to talk about today is Contra III, the Alien Wars for the Super Nintendo, the war the world forgot. So my copy is actually signed by Maddox from the Best Page in the Universe, who wrote this really awesome Contra III article, which I'll link down in the description below. Yeah, definitely check out his site and his YouTube channel. He is awesome, because he's the best. So as an 80s kid, I grew up in the era where a lot of franchises from the NES were transitioning and kind of growing up into the SNES, and I remember Contra was one of those franchises that was put on steroids when it hit the Super Nintendo, because Contra III, the Alien Wars, is everything Contra put on steroids. So I remember seeing Contra in magazines like Nintendo Power, Game Players Magazine, and GamePro, and going like, holy shit, that's Contra on the Super Nintendo. Like, holy crap, you're fighting like a giant alien skull, giant alien turtles, like aliens everywhere, like holy shit. So I remember renting the game in the summer of 1993, and when I put that cartridge in my Super Nintendo, it was like those scenes you see in the movies where like a guy turns up his speakers and he's like blown away. That's the exact feeling I got playing Contra 3 for the Super Nintendo. Like, holy shit, man. So I remember waiting on the title screen, watching that intro. Like, you see the city, and then, you know, Red Falcon, like, totally destroys the city, Independence Day style. And then, like, your heroes, Jimbo and Sully, although in the Japanese version, they're still Mad Dog and Scorpion, they're like, we're going to war, let's fucking kill them. You know, just like Maddox said, this game is like manly. This is like the most macho game on the Super Nintendo. And if you thought the intro was intense, I remember pressing start, and then I was immediately thrust into this war-torn city with this awesome music blaring, and then you're like, holy shit, the aliens have like fucking destroyed the city. And then you get that invincibility barrier, so you can adjust yourself to the controls, you blow up that car, and then you're like, holy shit, I have automatic machine gun fire just right at the beginning. Like, holy shit, man, like, I don't have to get a power up for this, but what would my gun feel like if I powered it up more? I was mowing down aliens with my machine gun, and then I was like blowing up bases, and then I saw those man-faced mutts chasing after me, and I was driving like mini tanks. I was like, holy shit, man, Contra 3, this game is no bullshit. Yeah, so let's talk about the weapons in this game. Like, you already have a badass weapon by default, the machine gun, and then you have the spread gun, you have the flamethrower, which is like a real flamethrower, like holy shit. And then you have like the crush gun, the laser gun, the homing missiles. And then like you had your helio bombs. And if you had like a turbo controller that can like switch your weapons like really fast, and if you had like the crush gun and the laser, you're unstoppable. Like, everything you shot at just died in like seconds. So this game is like, okay, so this is your character, this is your gun. Now you just point at the thing that you want to die and press the button. It's that simple. Alright, so let's talk about the music in this game. So, the original Contra on the NES had mostly lighthearted music with some intensity to it, but then Super C had, I think, had richer music and definitely a lot more intensity. But the music in Contra 3 is literally the Contra music put on steroids. Like, holy shit, like the first level's music is like, holy shit, I'm put into this fucking war zone and there's aliens everywhere and fire and brimstone and just flying aliens and shit and holy shit. And then the music in the second level, it sounds something out of like a sci-fi movie, like, oh, like badass. Like, you can like dance to it, man. And then the third level's music is also pretty intense. And then the fourth level's music is pretty intense. Although I think the music in the fifth level is a bit silly, but it's a bit of a silly stage. And then the music in the last level, man, like, it's intense. And then after that, it goes even crazy. And then when you're fighting that winged boss, it sounds like something from Batman. Konami made Batman Returns on the SNES, so yeah. And now let's talk about the stages. Like, the stages are such homages to the original Contra games. Like, in the first level alone, like, you're fighting aliens, and this time they actually look like aliens rather than football players or soldiers. Like, they look like real aliens, man. And then you have to get past these like mini bases, which are homage to like the first Contra base. And then you're driving a tank, man. You're driving a tank like mowing down alien soldiers. And then you have to fight an alien tank. And then after that, this jet like bombs the city. Holy shit, I gotta jump up and there's fire all over the ground. And it's also cool, like you see those streams of fire and you're like, dude, this is like a fucking Facebook moment. Like this is like, there's a flame of fire over me, but I'm just gonna show off a cocky pose, you know? Yeah, like this is like the cover of Nintendo Power epic, man. And then I remember the turtle boss at the beginning, you know, the big ass fucking turtle with the big heart. It has a big heart, but not in the way you would think. Although I'm not an anatomy expert, but why would an exposed heart be like just out there for you to shoot? Like, wouldn't hearts be more of inside of like a demonic creature? And then the second stage with the really awesome Mode 7 scrolling. Whoa! A lot like the top-down stages from the second Contra game, Super C, although this time you can rotate the screen around with the L and R buttons, and Spider Boss at the end wasn't really that difficult. And then I remember the third level at the plant. First, like, you have to get past all those alien bugs and shit, and then you're being chased by like a wall walker. Like, ah, crap. And it's trying to smash you into the wall. Like, Jesus, there's never a dull moment in this game. And then there's that helicopter with all the flying birdmen coming down. Yeah, and then the boss in this stage is like, you know, the Snatchers from Snatcher. Like Hideo Kojima's Snatcher game. You know, back when Konami was actually a good company. Yeah, like it's so intense, you fight those two Snatchers and then you have to hang from the ceiling while they're trying to get you, and then when you kill the bottom of them, their top torsos start trying to kill you, but you have to hang from the ceiling. And then when the big Snatcher comes out, you're like, holy shit, it's blowing fire around the room and you have to like run and climb the walls and shit. And when you kill it, its head falls off. It's pretty awesome, like the door just slams its head like, ah! So like the fourth level with the bike, if you thought the first three levels were intense, they're nothing compared to this level, trust me. Yeah, so first you're fighting the enemies in the tunnel on the bikes, and then you fight that tank, and then the ship like flies above you, then you have to fight the guns, and then I remember that one dude who like goes from left to right, and then he's swinging and his soldiers are falling down, but you can't just stay there, you have to move, and then they're like, whoa, 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 dude! And then you have the lasers coming down at you from the ship, and then you fight the alien walker. And then you're on the helicopter, like, holy shit, you're on the helicopter, you fight that samurai dude with the rope, and then one of the most intense things in the game happens. The fucking helicopter launches the missiles with you on it. Like, holy shit. And then after that, you're fighting the back engine of the ship on the missiles. You're like jumping from missile to missile, trying to blow up the ship. I'm like, I'm fighting on these missiles. Holy shit, man, this is intense. But the good thing is the helicopter picks you up after you blow up the ship. Like, wow. And then you go to the Badlands stage, as it's like the top-down stage. I didn't really care too much for this stage. And then you fight that, you know, boss with the eye, which is really hard on the higher difficulty levels. And then you fight at the alien base itself, which is a huge homage to the past Contra games. Like, you fight the big mouth aliens, and then after that you fight the heart. And then you fight the final boss from Super Contra, which is a lot smaller, but it burrows into the ground. And then, like I said before, you fight the wing thing with the Batman music playing. Like, holy shit, it like phases out like Star Trek and shit. And then after that, you fight Red Falcon himself, you know, with the snakes coming down. And then you can pop his eyes out and shit. And then you fight his brain. I'm not fucking kidding. His fucking brain, and then those things circle around him, and then whatever you shoot is what he attacks you with, and it's pretty intense, man. It's really, really intense. And of course, if you're playing on the lower difficulty levels, once you kill the brain, it's over. But on hard level, the brain gets encased in this shell, and then you have to fight that while trying to escape on the helicopter. Like, that was intense as shit, man. But of course, if you beat any of the lower difficulty levels, you won't see the full ending, so you have to beat this game on the hard mode to see the full ending. And the hard mode is hard. And honestly, I was only able to beat the hard mode because there's these parts in the game where you can just kind of back yourself up against a wall and get like extra lives. So I would back myself up against a wall, like use my turbo controller, and wait an hour and have my character kill enemies like for an hour. But if you don't have a turbo controller, you can just put like a chair over your Y button and just do it that way. Of course I use the Game Genie to beat it too, but no, don't use the Game Genie. Beat this on hard mode, but at least try to raise 30 lives whenever you can. And trust me, the full ending is worth it. I remember recording this on VHS. I might still have that VHS because I didn't want to beat it again on hard mode, so I recorded myself beating this on hard mode on VHS. That's insane, man. And you can just watch it on YouTube now. So yeah, man. Contra III, the Alien Wars. One of the most macho, if not the most macho game on the Super Nintendo, man. And you can get this game on the 3DS Virtual Console, you can get it on the Wii and Wii U Virtual Console, or even get the cartridge. It's getting a little up there in price, but it's not too expensive. Trust me, you have to play this game if you're a Contra fan. You know, back when Konami was actually a respectable company. Yeah, so that wraps up this episode of Awesome Video Game Memories about Contra III, the Alien Wars, or Contra III, no more bullshit. And if you have any memories about this game, make sure to leave those in the comments below. Take care.
Please support us at patreon.com/BattleGeekPlus.
This video is sponsored by Elgato Gaming. For the best in video game capture and streaming, you can purchase your own with the affiliate links down below.
Hey, you guys having fun here? Well, check us out on twitch.tv/BattleGeekPlus.